Welcome back on this Tuesday. Finding the right facility for senior citizens in your life can be a hard decision, but there are certain topics to know ahead of making that difficult choice.
And joining us this morning, Justin Carwile, Executive Director of Calumet Trace Senior Living, to share insight on making that process of finding your loved one the perfect place to stay. Thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about Calumet Trace, where you guys are located and what you offer in our community.
Yeah, so we are located in beautiful Owensboro, Kentucky. We're a pretty large facility. We have 114 total apartments. We have independent living, assisted living, and memory care. So we have about 50 units on independent living, 44 total apartments on assisted living, and 20 on memory care.
So, you know, I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm getting to that point. One day I may have to, you know, my wife doesn't think that's going to happen. But, you know, we look at the different definitions of aging, and some folks move to a retirement home, which are pretty, you know, independent when they live in a retirement home.
Absolutely.
They just want to downsize their life a little bit, sell a house, maybe, you know, empty nesters. But there's a level of, you know, you go from that retirement facility to something a little bit more evasive because, you know, that person, it goes beyond just medication every day or just taking care of their, you know, their meals and things like that. What is the difference when folks graduate to that level and need that type of intense care every day?
Yeah, and what's great about us is we have the entire continuum of care. So you can start out like just what you said in independent living with those types of services, the downsizing things. But when you move on over into assisted living, not only do you need the medication management, but you might need some assistance in what we call activities of daily living. You're bathing, you're eating, you're transferring, you're toileting. The things that we do for us every day as we take care of ourselves, we can provide assistance with that up to a one-person assist. So our caregivers and our nurses are there and trained to be able to assist those residents in performing those tasks, depending on what kind of range of care they need.
And what type of cost comes to someone like that? Are there ways to supplement that through, you know, government funding, maybe insurance? How does that get financed?
Absolutely. And when it comes to the cost, that's always the scary part, right? I'm still a nursing home administrator. I was for about 7 years. So right now, private pay-wise in the nursing home industry, you're looking between $12,000 and $16,000 a month without any types of insurances. For us, you're looking around that $5,000 to $6,000 per month. But it can also be supplemented with what we call long-term care insurance. So many people have that. It's not like Medicare or Medicaid or anything of that nature, but it can help supplement that cost all the way up to 100% of the benefit. And we can help kind of navigate those waters as well. So they can come in, meet with us, we can meet with our business office manager, and we can kind of go through their policy and let them know what to expect and things that might pop up in the process.
Now, I've had family members that have done both assisted living and nursing home care later in life. What is the process for families? Because this can not only be hard, you know, asking the questions, making sure, you know, the right folks are taking care of their loved ones, but also the emotional process for mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, you know, going into this. So what is that process? What should it look like?
Absolutely. Well, everybody's kind of process is a little bit different, but we always try to stay proactive. So come in and see us. Come in and drop in and see us. Have a tour. Talk to our experts on the ground. And we can kind of navigate you through that process and let you know, hey, you know, maybe we're not the right place for you. Maybe we can get you over into a higher level of care in the nursing home industry. We have contacts there as well. So a lot of it just has to do stop on in, get the information materials, come to our events, come to our support groups. And we can kind of help you, especially on the front end, be prepared before it's too late.
And maybe we have residents in Evansville that aren't going to choose your nursing home necessarily or assisted living facility, but these are the same questions they can ask all those agencies.
Absolutely.
As well. One other thing I just wanted to know, you know, is we have an aging population and our baby boomers. That's a huge number.
Absolutely.
I mean, my parents fall into that category. I do believe your parents are on the cusp of it. Don't tell them I said that.
No.
But yeah, you see that, and it's just a growing population of the elderly in our community. Not only that, we have longevity. You know, folks live longer than they do. So, you know, they may have worked a job where they had a pension and a retirement, and that stuff's exhausted after a while. But there is a great need for more, you know, assisted living facilities, I imagine, because of that population aging and retiring.
Absolutely, and it's becoming more common. A lot of people have that fear. You know, no one wants to be in a nursing home. That's always the stigma, right? We are the farthest thing from a nursing home. We like to call ourselves like a cruise ship on land. I mean, all of our amenities, it does not feel like a nursing home when you walk in. It's almost like a hotel with medical services. So all your meals, all your housekeeping, your maintenance, your laundry, activities, trips, entertainment, All that stuff is included. We have a full bar. I mean, you can stop by and get a drink while you're watching the game with your friends. So all that stuff is there with us. So it's a nice way to kind of dip your toes into the water, especially if you know those services are going to be needed a little bit more in your life.
And before we wrap up, just to ask you, you know, this can be a very scary thing for folks. You know, there could be a stigma sometimes. Is my loved one going to get proper care? Are they going to be cared for the way that we love them? What would you say to families that might, you know, have that fear of even looking?
Yes. What I say is come by and meet everybody. Come see our staff. The tour that we give is very immersive. You meet our staff. You meet our activity personnel. You can ask all the questions that you want. We're going to be very open and transparent. And just trust us as experts in the field. We're going to take very good care of your loved ones. And even if it's not with us, that's not our goal. We just want to get them to the right place. And in any way we can help in that journey, we're going to.
All right, thank you, Justin.
Thank you so much.
Carwile, Executive Director of Calumet Trace Senior Living there in Owensboro. We're going to check the forecast on this Tuesday. Griffin providing some, well, blue